2 weeks ago, I buried the Rolls-Royce limousine, hoping to never see the car again, and now it's parked in front of the house because Burlacker promptly unburied it. He has like this emotional attachment. He can't let go of things. I hope we're gonna blow it up. I don't know if we're going to, but welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, and of course, welcome back to another perfect day here in Utah. No matter what I do, I cannot get this vehicle out of my life. This ugly monster, this beautiful, beautiful engineering marvel, somebody should buy this. This is my sales pitch, my plea. Somebody come buy the Rolls-Royce limousine, $17,000 or best offer, take it or leave it. Now I know that price seems steep, but it's an 82 Silver Spur 2. They only built 16 of these in 1982. This was the most expensive car in the world. Somebody please buy this car. Now it does have 106,000 miles, and I know that mileage is steep, but the odometer broke 20 years ago, and so it probably has a whole lot more than that. And the door, come on, opens easily. I'm gonna make you guys the deal of the century. Whoever buys the Rolls-Royce limo can shave, wait, that would be weird. Burlacker will shave his beard if you buy the limo. You don't get to shave his beard, but he'll do it himself. I actually haven't confirmed this with Mr. Burlacker himself, but his beautiful, lustrous, immaculate, gorgeous beard of a man, the beast of a man that he is, he hasn't been baby shaven in 5 years. Somebody buy this limo, please, like, this is my plea. Moving on to bigger and better things, we need to talk hypercar, more importantly, the SSC Tuatara. I think it's pronounced Tuatara. I don't know how to pronounce it, but if you guys are not familiar with the car, let me show you a video clip. I am not being paid whatsoever for this. I'm just fascinated by this car. Check out this video. 40 to 150. That's like 4 seconds. I spent the entire night last night watching videos of this new Tuatara. I do not know how to pronounce it, but I am fascinated by the car. They're hoping to hit 300 miles an hour in it. It looks insane. Like, here's a couple photos of the Tuatara. It starts off at right around $1.6 million, which is a little bit out of my budget, but production isn't slated to start for 6 months or so. So I'm wondering, do I hold off on the hypercar purchase, and do I wait and try to buy a Tuatara and have a car capable of 300 miles an hour? That'd be pretty cool. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. Something really, really important and really, really exciting just arrived in the mail. Hold tight. I'm gonna go, well, you're on a tripod, so even if you wanted to leave, you really couldn't. Just put on a seat, like, don't go anywhere. Dun, dun, dun. Girth Nation, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. In partnership with APR Performance and 4 Horsemen Racing. Okay, I gotta. That last clip you guys just watched, I had to film it multiple times because the first take, I dropped the box on the Ford GT. Obviously for resale reasons, I couldn't include that. I'm just kidding, I did not drop the box on the Ford GT. That was sarcasm. There's a box inside the massive box. From APR Performance for the yo! Dun dun dun! For the 430 challenge, check out this thing. Full exposed carbon fiber from APR Performance. Look at the weave! That is just like glistening. I also want to give a massive shout out to the boys over at 4 Horsemen Racing. Guys, if you're looking for aftermarket performance parts, check out 4 Horsemen Racing. Link below. You guys know Josh really well. They got the Huracan. They're storing the Super for free for me. Check them out, 4 Horsemen Racing. If you guys want a custom wing like this from APR Performance or anything else on your car, check them out. If I could make it sound good, I would, but it's a twin turbo V6 EcoBoost, so yeah, sorry. The world needs a babyface Burlacker. Somebody buy the limo. Please, somebody buy it. Get it out of my life. Lava Orange GT3 RS, and then we have the Huracan Super Trofeo right there. Pretty good timing. Kelsey is a beast of a man right there, risking his life. Huracan Super Trofeo. Luke is carrying my wing in for me, man. The guys here at Make Smiles, they're just making my life easy. Luke is just oh so kind. Yo, I told you. Remember when I removed the factory wing and everybody was all mad? That is gonna look sick. Let's go much higher than that. Lift that baby up to the sky. Okay, maybe not quite that high, but Yes. We're racing back home. We're gonna drop off the Raptor, grab the Aventador. We're gonna drive back to makes and models to drop off the Aventador because we still need to unwrap the car. We gotta remove the bumper, we gotta remove the side skirts, and then the 430 Challenge wing should be installed by then, and then we're gonna drive the Ferrari home. That makes sense? Yeah, that makes sense. We have a minor change of plans. We're not quite headed back to makes and models today. The 430, the Challenge, the wing install isn't gonna be finished today. If we take the Aventador and drop it off, I don't have a ride home. So we're gonna continue unwrapping the Aventador on our own, and then next week, we'll go swap the two cars. And go! We're headed that way, but we're gonna go this way because I want round two. And go! The Aventador is 98% unwrapped. We need to remove the rear bumper and the side skirts, but that contrast, are you kidding me? The white bricks and forged wheels, the carbon fiber hood, and the Arancio Argos, it does not get any better than that. We're gonna leave this combination for quite a while, through the summer, probably into the fall, and then this winter we'll probably rewrap it just to protect that finish because it looks amazing. The car's dirty, I need to wash it, but enough of that nonsense. You guys saw the title, the thumbnail to today's video. We're at my property, 1.7 acres in the beautiful state of Utah. Now the design for my new house is finally done. The exterior is done. I'm gonna show you guys that very, very soon, but before that, we need some aerial surveillance. I am so excited for this project to get underway. This is the culmination of my YouTube channel to finally be building my own house. Now, a lot of you guys remember version 1.0, 12-car garage with a 2-bedroom apartment above it, everything and more than I could ever need. Now, the city council here in Utah, they decided that the design that I wanted to build on my piece of land didn't fit their requirements, and so they put the kibosh on this. So, this is version 2.0. It's a redesign. It's still a similar concept, 12-car garage, but instead of a 2-bedroom apartment, it's a 5,000 square foot house, which is way overly excessive. It's way more than I need. Someday for resale, it will be good. So yeah, version 1.0 is not happening. This is version 2.0. This is kind of step 2 in the process. Step 1 was buying the land. Step 2 is the design. Steps 3 through 99 are gonna take like 10 years. So construction hopefully will be done, I don't know, in a couple years. Here she is, version 2.0 of my future house. I'm just gonna spin the map, let you guys get a good idea of what the house is gonna look like. The central sky bridge is the unique architecture for sure. The concept of driving my cars underneath that sky bridge to the back patio is gonna be so sick. It separates the house into kind of 2 different sides. I love red brick. I feel like it is timeless. 20 years from now, it's still gonna look good. So the showroom garage is there on the right-hand side. We have space for 8 cars. And then you'll notice that we got a bunch more garage doors here on the back side of the main house. We have space for 4 cars over there. We got this big patio, obviously a hot tub, a Traeger grill at some point. I can't cook, but there's a lot of steak in the future. I'd love to build a pool someday, but you'll notice like the house only covers a fraction of the acreage. Someday, go-kart track there in the back corner. If I ever need another garage for more space, obviously we have room for that. Big pool, of course, definitely in the plans too. But you'll notice like the house is way, way, way excessive. The house is 5,000 square feet. The second story is basically just a bunch of bedrooms. I don't have any use for that whatsoever. I'd imagine if I ever sell the house though, you know, a family will buy the house, they'll have a bunch of kids, and it'll get used that way. But above the sky bridge, I have a big room. I want to put like a film studio in there, maybe start a podcast at some point. Not really entirely sure, but I'm trying to figure out the inside design of the showroom garage. Manny Koshman, his garage is incredible. It's got the white tile floor, the white walls, the lighting is amazing, the cars look incredible. I'm trying to decide, do I go with that concept or do I pick a different concept? Obviously, that's kind of like a modern interior. This house is not a modern exterior, so would that be weird? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But yes, like I said, the architect has finished the 3D rendering of the outside of the house. This is roughly 98% of what it's gonna look like. Once construction starts, there will be some changes. He's working on the interior design right now. I'll be sure to share that with you guys. But what do you guys think? I'm gonna scoot this down to sort of street level view, give you guys an idea of what it's gonna look like when I roll up to the house. That is gonna be so sick. I cannot wait. Assuming best case scenario, I'll move into my house maybe the end of summer 2021. That's if everything goes as planned. We all know that's not gonna happen. So my architect just finished the 3D rendering of the exterior of the house. Now he's working on the interior. He should be done with that in 2 to 3 weeks, let's say. That puts us into the middle of July. Then it gets sent off to engineering. That process takes about 4 weeks, middle of August. Once I have engineering, the design is done, I send it off to builders to get different bids. I want to get 3 bids to price compare. The bid process takes anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. That puts us in middle to end of September. Assuming the bids come back, they meet my budget, I select a builder, we're good to go. Then I go to the bank to secure financing. Now financing is probably going to take 4 to 5 weeks as well. That puts us into middle of October, end of October, I'm not really sure. Then we go to the city to pull permits. Now the permit process could take 2 weeks, it could take 12 weeks, we don't really know. I might get approved, I might get denied. If I get approved, great, construction starts in the middle of winter. If I get denied, we have to go back to the architect, we have to make the changes, and then do it all over again. So... And that is going to effectively end today's video. I'd love to hear what you guys think of the future house in the comments below. It is going to be a long, crazy process. I first decided a year ago that I was going to build my own house. In that time frame, I bought a piece of land and I kind of sort of finalized the design of the house. It is going to be quite the journey, but once we reach the finish line, it is going to be so cool to have a 12-car garage, 1.7 acres. We are going to have so much fun. I'm so excited to share the process with you guys. We're going to be filming a lot of construction vlogs as well. Throughout the journey, we're going to be out there documenting the entire thing. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, like squad, be sure to smash that like button. But just like that, this vlog is over, and I'm out.